The scanner beeped. Red light. Error. Again. Manager Cole said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Aisha swallowed. Tried again. Beep. Red. Behind her, Boots stepped closer. You people always slow the line, Cole muttered. The conveyor kept moving. Boxes piled up. Workers avoided eye contact. Aisha kept her voice steady. The system lagged. I logged it already. Cole leaned close. Coffee breath. Cold smile. You logged it. Wow. Should we clap? A few nervous laughs. Then silence. He grabbed a box from her station. Watch. Anyone can do this. He scanned it. Green light. He turned back. Eyes hard. See. Replaceable. The word hit like a slap. Aisha felt heat rise in her chest. But her face stayed calm. I finished top accuracy last quarter, she said quietly. Cole shrugged. Numbers don't matter when attitude does. Forklift alarm screamed nearby. Someone dropped a pallet. Cole stepped closer, voice lower now. You should be grateful you're even here. Aisha's hands shook inside her gloves. She thought of rent, her brother's college fees, her mother's medicine. I understand, she said. Cole smirked. Good. Then security radios crackled. Manager Cole, HR needs you. Now. He frowned. For what? Radio voice again. Regarding a complaint. And corporate audit. Cole looked at Aisha. Then at the camera above her station. Then back at her. His smile vanished. And Aisha realized. Someone had been watching. The line moved faster than usual. Too fast. Aisha scanned. Lifted. Turned. Stacked. Beep. Green. Beep. Green. Behind her, voices stayed low. No one joked today. No music from the forklift drivers. Just machines. And watching. Maria leaned close while taping a box. You okay? I'm working, Aisha said. That's not what I asked. Aisha scanned again. Beep. Green. I'm fine. Maria lowered her voice. He's done this before. Aisha paused. To who? Maria hesitated. People who don't stay long. Aisha felt cold spread through her chest. Cole's voice cut across the floor. Why is lane 3 behind? Supervisor rushed past. System sync delay. Cole snapped. Excuses cost contracts. His eyes landed on Aisha. There she is. Fixing problems again. Workers looked down. Aisha forced steady breathing. I submitted a system ticket. Cole clapped slowly. Amazing. Maybe IT should pay you. A forklift reversed loudly. No one laughed this time. Cole stepped closer. You know what slows teams down? Aisha said nothing. People who think they're special. He walked off. Maria whispered. He wants you to react. I won't. But her hands trembled. Later. Break room. Coffee machine hissed. 2 workers stopped talking when she entered. One nodded politely. Too politely. She sat. Opened her phone. Email notification. Subject line. Operational review, regional performance audit. Her stomach dropped. Footsteps. Security officer stood in doorway. Aisha. Yes. HR may talk to you later today. Why? He shifted weight. Just routine. Routine never needed security. Back on floor. System alarms flashed yellow now. Supervisor muttered. Database lag again. Aisha checked logs. Timestamps mismatched. Manual overrides missing. She walked to supervisor. Someone changed routing permissions. Don't say that out loud, he whispered. Why? He looked toward office windows. Because they were tinted, but never empty. Cole's office door opened. He pointed at her. Inside. She walked in. Door closed. Silence. Cole sat slowly. You like talking to HR? I haven't talked to HR. Yet. He folded hands. You know audits find weak links. I do my job. He leaned forward. Do you? Aisha held eye contact. Yes. He studied her face like she was a math problem. You think numbers protect you. They show truth. He smiled. No warmth. Truth is decided by people who sign checks. Her pulse pounded. You should remember that. Radio crackled on his desk. Cole, HR is asking again. He exhaled sharply. Then pointed at door. Stay focused on scanning. As she left, he added. Try not to be noticeable. Shift ended late. Parking lot lights buzzed overhead. Maria walked beside her. You should document everything. I already do. Maria nodded. Good. Then quietly. They pushed out Jamal last year. For what? Attitude. Aisha closed her eyes briefly. At home. Laptop open. She checked system logs through employee portal. Permissions changes. After midnight entries. Manager override codes. Her chest tightened. New email arrived. Sender. Corporate compliance. Subject line. Confidential. Employee performance review monitoring. Her hands froze. She opened it. One line inside. Your performance metrics have been flagged for executive review. Another line appeared below. Do not discuss this email with local management. Her pulse roared in her ears. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. Text message. They're watching him. Not you. Stay quiet. Aisha stared at the message. Then at the confidential email. Then at her reflection in the black laptop screen. For the first time, she wasn't sure if she was in danger, or if someone else was, and which one was worse. The warehouse felt louder, but no one talked. Machines filled the silence. Aisha scanned the morning log report. Her name sat at the top. Productivity, 98.7% error rate, 0.3%. Below it, disciplinary warning, 1. Her chest tightened. She opened the write-up. Reason, failure to maintain workflow speed during peak hour. Her hands curled into fists. Maria slid beside her. You got one too? Aisha nodded once. Maria whispered. I was top 5 last month. Still got written up. Why? Aisha asked. Maria didn't answer. She just tapped the screen. A pattern. Every name with warnings. Minority workers. Aisha swallowed hard. Cole walked by. Slow. Watching. Morning, he said. No one answered. He stopped near Aisha. You look stressed. I'm working. Good. Because corporate loves numbers. He leaned closer. But numbers can be interpreted. He walked off. Aisha exhaled slowly. Lunch break. Back table. Away from cameras. Maria, Darius, and Lynn sat close. Darius spoke first. They did this to Jamal. Aisha nodded. I heard. They stacked warnings, Darius said. Then cut his hours. Lynn added quietly. Then said he quit. Aisha stared at her tray. This is illegal. Darius laughed once. No humor. Prove it. Aisha opened her tablet. Pulled historical performance data. Filter. Last 18 months. Rows filled the screen. She sorted by warnings. Then by department. Then by demographic fields. Her breath stopped. Maria leaned closer. What? Write-ups spike after shift reassignment. To who? Maria asked. Aisha turned the screen. Maria covered her mouth. Not random, Aisha said quietly. Darius whispered. You need to delete that. I can't. You need to, he said. They check logs. Aisha hesitated. Fear crawled up her spine. But she saved a copy. Encrypted folder. Hidden under certification study files. Shift resumed. Cole reassigned her station. Again. Lane 6 today, he said. That's outbound overload, she replied. He smiled. Good practice. She walked there anyway. Boxes moved faster. Scanner lagged. Forklift traffic doubled. Stress built fast. Supervisor muttered. Just survive the shift. Halfway through shift. System froze. Alarms beeped. Boxes stacked fast. Cole shouted across floor. Why is lane 6 failing? Everyone looked at Aisha. Her throat tightened. System sync lost, she said. Cole walked fast toward her. You again. I reported lag earlier. You always have reports. Workers froze around them. Cole stepped closer. You know what corporate hates? She said nothing. Excuses. He turned to supervisor. Document this. Supervisor hesitated. Cole said louder. Document it. Supervisor typed slowly. Aisha felt something crack inside her chest. Not fear. Something colder. End of shift. Locker room. Phone buzzed. New email. From corporate compliance. Subject, data access confirmation. Inside, we see your access activity. Continue normal workflow. Do not discuss internal metrics. Her pulse raced. Another message arrived. Unknown number again. They know he's manipulating logs. Aisha's hands shook. She typed. Who is this? No reply. Parking lot. Darius caught up to her. You need to be careful. I am. No, you're not, he said. You're asking questions. Someone has to. Darius grabbed her arm gently. They don't fire loud people first. Then who? He swallowed. They isolate them. At home. Laptop open again. She cross-checked timestamps. Manager override codes. Late-night edits. Pattern-matched shift change schedules. Her chest felt tight. She opened certification portal to distract herself. New notification. She clicked it. Instead of exam results. A secure message window opened. Sender hidden. One sentence appeared. You were not supposed to see this data yet. Aisha's breath stopped. Another line appeared. HR wants to meet you tomorrow. Alone. Then final line. Do not bring representation. Her hands went cold. Phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Do not go alone. Aisha stared at the screen. 2 warnings. 2 sides. Both saying opposite things. And for the first time, she didn't know who was trying to help. Or who was setting the trap. HR offices always smelled too clean. Like nothing bad was allowed to exist there. Aisha sat in a gray chair outside conference room B. Hands folded. Phone silent. Door opened. Ms. Khan. HR manager Leland said. His smile was polite. Thin. Please come in. The room felt colder than the hallway. 1 table. 2 chairs. No windows. Just a small camera in the corner. Aisha sat. Leland closed the door softly. Another woman sat already, tablet open. This is Ms. Carter, compliance liaison, Leland said. Carter nodded once. No smile. Leland folded his hands. Thank you for meeting with us. You said it was mandatory, Aisha replied. Of course, he said smoothly. Leland tapped a file. You've had recent concerns about workflow operations. I reported system errors, Aisha said. Yes. You report often. The way he said often felt heavy. Carter looked up. Do you feel supported by management? Yes. Fully. Aisha paused. Her pulse thudded in her ears. I do my job, she said. Leland smiled slightly. That wasn't the question. Silence filled the room. Air vent hummed overhead. Carter leaned forward. Have you experienced anything that made you uncomfortable at work? The word uncomfortable felt small. Too small. Aisha thought of the word replaceable. The warnings. The reassigned stations. The stares. The silence. I've experienced pressure, she said. Leland nodded slowly. High-performance environments can feel that way. Carter watched her carefully. Pressure from systems, Carter asked, or people? Aisha swallowed. Both. Leland wrote something down. Have you ever felt targeted? The word landed heavy. Aisha's chest tightened. If I say yes, she said carefully, what happens? Leland smiled again. We investigate. And if I say no? We document. The answer felt wrong. Too easy. Carter tapped her tablet. Do you believe disciplinary actions are applied fairly across teams? Aisha's heart pounded. Images flashed in her mind. Jamal. Maria. The warning lists. The pattern. I believe, Aisha said slowly. Data should be reviewed. Leland leaned back. That wasn't the question. It's the honest answer. Silence again. Leland changed tone slightly. Softer. Almost friendly. You're a strong employee, Ms. Khan. Thank you. We want you to succeed here. I want that too. But, he said gently, sometimes employees misunderstand leadership decisions. Carter didn't look up. Leland continued. Especially during audits. Aisha felt heat rise in her neck. I don't misunderstand data. Leland's smile faded just a little. He slid a document across the table. Performance improvement acknowledgement. Her name printed clean at the top. Her stomach dropped. I haven't failed performance, she said. This isn't punishment, Leland said quickly. It's support. For what problem? For alignment, he replied. The word sounded like a locked door. Carter finally spoke again. Have you shared operational data with anyone outside company systems? No. Have you discussed internal metrics with coworkers? No. Carter held her gaze. Have you documented management behavior? Aisha's breath caught. I document my work, she said. Carter nodded slowly. Leland pushed the paper closer. Signing shows cooperation. And if I don't? We note refusal. And then? We evaluate next steps. The room felt smaller. The air thinner. Aisha stared at the paper. Pen beside it. Her reflection faint in the table surface. She thought of her mother's medicine. Her brother's tuition. Rent due in 12 days. Leland's voice softened. You're valuable here. The words felt rehearsed. Then he added quietly. But only if you stay aligned. Her hand moved. Stopped. Moved again. Stopped. Carter watched carefully. Not hostile. Not friendly. Just measuring. Aisha signed. The pen sounded loud on paper. Leland smiled wider now. Good choice. He stood. Thank you for your honesty. Carter closed her tablet. Meeting over. Just like that. Hallway outside felt warmer. But her chest felt hollow. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Did they make you sign something? Her heart pounded. She typed. Yes. Reply came instantly. They're building a record. Don't trust verbal promises. Her hands shook. As she walked toward exit doors. HR assistant hurried toward her. Ms. Khan, wait. Aisha turned. You forgot this. The assistant handed her a sealed envelope. No sender listed, the assistant said quietly. Aisha frowned. From who? The assistant shook her head slightly. Then whispered. Not everyone agrees with what's happening. Then she walked away quickly. Parking lot wind felt sharp. Aisha sat in her car. Stared at envelope. Her name typed clean on front. She opened it slowly. Inside, one flash drive. And one printed note. 3 words. Check terminal logs. Her pulse roared in her ears. Because she already had. And if someone inside HR was sending this, then this wasn't just a workplace problem anymore. This was bigger. And she had just signed something she didn't fully understand. The community center smelled like old books and fresh coffee. Aisha liked that smell. It felt honest. Kids ran through the hallway. Someone laughed in the back office. Music played low from a phone speaker. Normal life. Something her job never felt like. Hey, you're late, Mrs. Alvarez said from the front desk. Shift ran long, Aisha replied. Mrs. Alvarez studied her face. You didn't sleep. I'm fine. Mrs. Alvarez didn't argue. She just handed her a coffee. Workshop room is full, she said softly. People need you today. Inside the workshop, 10 adults sat at folding tables. Resume worksheets spread out. One man stood when she walked in. You're the warehouse supervisor, right? No, Aisha said. I'm logistics tech. You help people get hired, though. I try. The man nodded. Sat down slowly. Good, he said. Some places don't want people like us to stay. The room went quiet. Aisha felt the words settle heavy in her chest. She started the lesson anyway. Today we practice interview confidence. A woman raised her hand. What if they already decided not to hire you? Aisha paused. Then said carefully. Then you make them explain why. The room stayed silent. Then slowly, people started writing. Break time. Mrs. Alvarez stood beside her near the window. You look like you're carrying something heavy. Aisha stared outside. I might be. Work. Yes. Bad work. Yes. Mrs. Alvarez nodded slowly. You don't have to tell me, she said. But you don't have to carry it alone either. Aisha swallowed hard. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number again. New message. Check news tonight. Channel 8 investigative segment. Her stomach dropped. Everything okay? Mrs. Alvarez asked. I don't know yet. Evening. Aisha sat on her couch. TV remote shaking slightly in her hand. News intro music played. Then headline appeared. Local distribution company under review for workplace disparities. Her heart slammed. Footage showed. Her warehouse. Blurred employee faces. Voiceover spoke calmly. Former employees describe patterns of selective discipline. Her chest tightened. Door knock. She froze. Another knock. Aisha? It's me, Maria called. Aisha opened door fast. Maria stepped inside. You saw it. Aisha nodded. Maria paced. They're finally looking. Or covering, Aisha said quietly. Maria stopped moving. You think they'll bury it? I don't know. TV continued playing. New voice appeared. Journalist on screen. Serious. Calm. Focused. Employees claim performance write-ups are used to remove specific workers without formal termination records. Maria whispered, That's Jamal. Aisha nodded slowly. Phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Reporter wants to meet you. Off record. Aisha stared at message. Maria saw her face change. What? Aisha showed her phone. Maria's eyes widened. Are you going? I don't know. Maria grabbed her shoulders gently. If this is real, this could stop it. Or make me a target. Maria nodded. Both truths sat heavy between them. Later that night, another email arrived. From unknown encrypted sender. Attachment included. File name. internal_memo_compliance_priority_list. Her pulse roared. She opened it. Rows of employee IDs. Risk markers. Performance tracking flags. Then, she found her name. Highlighted. Notes column beside it. 3 words. Monitor external influence. Her breath stopped. Then below that, another note added later. Timestamp 2 days ago. Potential legal exposure if terminated. Her hands shook. Because that meant they didn't see her as employee risk. They saw her as liability. Phone buzzed again. Unknown number. New message. Now you know why they're careful with you. Aisha typed slowly. Who are you? 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. No reply. Maria sat beside her on couch. What does it mean? Aisha stared at memo. It means they're scared. Of you. No, Aisha said quietly. Of proof. Another notification popped up. Email. Corporate compliance. Subject. Executive review scheduling. Attendance required. Meeting date. 3 days away. Location. Corporate headquarters. Her pulse spiked. Then, new message appeared at bottom of email. Not formatted like company text. Almost like someone added it after. 1 line. No signature. Bring anything you want them to see. Aisha's breath caught. Because that wasn't a warning. That was an invitation. And she didn't know if it was help. Or bait. The warehouse felt different the next morning. Quieter. Like people were waiting for something bad to happen. Aisha clocked in. Scanner assigned. Station changed again. Lane 8 this time. Highest volume outbound. Highest failure risk. She exhaled slowly. Stay calm. Work clean. Cole stood near the supervisor desk. Watching her. Not hiding it. When she walked past, he said softly. Big week for you. I'm working my shift, she replied. He smiled without warmth. Good. Keep it simple. Maria caught her near packing crates. You got lane 8? Yes. That's not normal rotation. I know. Maria lowered her voice. They're stacking pressure. Aisha nodded. I expected it. But her chest felt tight anyway. First hour went smooth. Beep. Green. Beep. Green. Then scanner lagged. Half-second delay. Then full second. She checked system status. No alert. That was worse. Supervisor walked by fast. Keep line moving, he muttered. Scanner delay, she said. He didn't slow down. Do your best. Cole appeared behind her. Problem. Latency issue. He folded arms. Everyone else seems fine. She turned slightly. I can show you timestamp lag. No need, he said quickly. Too quickly. Then louder. Just don't slow the team. Workers nearby went silent. Aisha scanned again. Beep. Pause. Green. Her stomach dropped. This wasn't random. Midshift. System suddenly pushed batch orders to her lane. Too many. Supervisor frowned. That's weird. Cole spoke from behind him. System auto-balance. Supervisor didn't argue. Boxes stacked faster. Forklifts crossed lanes too close. Stress built like pressure behind her ribs. Maria whispered while passing. This isn't normal. I know. Then, system froze completely. Red lights flashed. Lane failure alarm screamed. Everyone turned. At her. Cole walked forward slowly. What happened? System crashed, she said. You were the only lane flagged. I reported lag earlier. Cole shook his head slowly. Excuses again. He turned to supervisor. Log performance failure. Supervisor hesitated. Cole said louder. Log it. Typing started. Aisha felt something inside her go very still. She stepped back from station. Pulled out her phone. Opened voice memo app. Pressed record. Then said clearly. Reporting live lane failure after repeated latency reports. Cole turned sharply. What are you doing? Documenting my work, she said calmly. His jaw tightened. Security radio crackled nearby. Supervisor suddenly spoke softer. Maybe we should check system first. Cole stared at him. Long hard. Then said, fine. Check it. But his eyes stayed locked on Aisha. 10 minutes later. IT confirmed server sync delay. Not lane error. Supervisor cleared her failure flag. But Cole said nothing. Just watched. Break room later. Darius sat beside her. You're recording now? Yes. Good. He leaned closer. They pulled access logs yesterday. Her stomach dropped. For who? For management overrides. Her pulse spiked. Why are you telling me? Darius looked at table. Because Jamal didn't know until it was too late. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. He requested manual routing change last night. Her breath caught. That matched the pattern. Second shift half started. Cole called her to office. Door closed. You're getting very visible, he said. I'm doing my job. You're making people uncomfortable. By working. By questioning leadership. Her chest tightened. I report system issues. He leaned forward. You create paper trails. Silence filled the room. He stood. Walked behind her chair. You know what happens to employees who create liability risk? Her heart pounded. No. They stop working here. She stood slowly. Is that a threat? He smiled thin. It's business reality. Radio crackled. Cole, corporate compliance officer, is here. His face changed. Just slightly. But she saw it. He stepped back. Go back to your station. His voice was calm again. Too calm. As she opened office door, two people in business suits walked past. One woman. One man. Compliance badges. The woman made eye contact with Aisha. Just for 1 second. Then looked away. Back on floor. Maria rushed to her. They're here. I know. Cole's been in meetings all afternoon. Aisha nodded slowly. Good. Let him sweat. End of shift. Locker room. Phone buzzed. New message. Unknown number. They're pulling full system history tonight. Her pulse raced. Another message followed. If you have proof, this is your window. At home. Laptop open. Flash drive from envelope inserted. Hidden folders appeared. She opened terminal logs. Full admin override history. Not partial. Not edited. Complete. Her hands trembled. Because it showed. Manual edits. Time-stamped. Manager credentials. Cole's ID repeated across months. Then, new file auto-opened. Internal note. Compliance flag. 3 words highlighted. Prepare termination justification. Her name listed below. Effective review date. Tomorrow morning. Phone buzzed. Unknown number again. Final message tonight. They plan to fire you before audit finished. Aisha stared at screen. Because tomorrow was the compliance meeting. And now she knew. She wasn't walking into a review. She was walking into a decision already made. Corporate headquarters smelled like polished floors and quiet money. Everything echoed. Even footsteps felt smaller here. Aisha stood in the lobby. Badge clipped to her jacket. Visitor tag. Temporary. Disposable. That word hit her again. She inhaled slowly. Not today. Ms. Khan. A tall woman approached. Dark suit. Compliance badge. I'm Director Shaw. Compliance Division. Aisha nodded. Thank you for meeting me. Shaw studied her face. You brought documentation? Yes. Good. No smile. Just professional calm. Elevator ride-up felt too quiet. Soft music played. No one spoke. Aisha could feel her pulse in her wrists. Shaw finally said, You're not in trouble. Aisha didn't answer. Because people who say that usually mean the opposite. Conference room 14. Glass walls. Long table. 5 people already seated. Legal. Compliance. HR corporate. Regional ops. And Cole. He sat stiff. Didn't look at her. Shaw gestured to a chair. Please sit. Aisha placed her folder on table. Flash drive inside. Her whole future inside. Regional ops director spoke first. Thank you for coming, Ms. Khan. Of course. We are conducting a routine performance audit. Routine again. That word felt like a lie wearing a suit. HR corporate rep leaned forward. We want to discuss workplace experience. Aisha nodded. I'm ready. Cole finally spoke. Voice smooth. Aisha is a strong worker. Sometimes emotional under pressure. Her chest tightened. But she stayed still. Shaw turned toward Cole. Please allow the employee to speak. The room shifted slightly. Power lines moving. Shaw looked at Aisha. Have you experienced performance pressure beyond normal operational expectations? Yes. From systems or personnel? Both. Cole shifted in his chair. Legal rep asked. Do you believe disciplinary measures were applied consistently across employees? Aisha's heart pounded. No. Cole inhaled sharply. Regional director spoke carefully. Do you have documentation supporting that belief? Aisha opened folder. Placed printed logs on table. Manager override timestamps, she said. Shaw slid papers toward herself. Read silently. Then passed to legal. Then HR. Then regional director. No one spoke. Cole finally leaned forward. These logs don't show context. Aisha turned toward him calmly. They show manual edits. That's part of management authority. Shaw spoke without looking up. Repeated edits before disciplinary spikes? Cole didn't answer. Legal rep cleared throat. Mr. Cole, were override entries audited internally? Cole's jaw tightened. IT manages logs. Legal wrote something down. Aisha slid flash drive forward. Full terminal history is there. Room went very quiet. Shaw picked it up. Plugged it into secure laptop. Screen filled with data. Scrolling logs. Months of entries. Patterns. Clear patterns. HR corporate whispered. Oh! Regional director leaned forward. Cole stopped moving entirely. Shaw spoke calmly. Mr. Cole, do you want to explain this override frequency? Cole swallowed. Operational adjustments. Targeting specific employee clusters? Shaw asked. No. Shaw turned screen slightly. Highlighted pattern. Minority shift group IDs. Repeated override blocks. Cole's voice got tighter. You're interpreting data without full operational context. Shaw nodded. Then provide context. Silence. Regional director finally spoke. Mr. Cole, did you initiate pre-termination review documentation on Ms. Khan? Aisha's heart slammed. Cole didn't answer immediately. Then, it was precautionary. Legal looked up sharply. Shaw spoke quietly now. Before compliance review completed? Cole said nothing. The room shifted again. And this time, it shifted away from him. Shaw turned to Aisha. Thank you for bringing this forward. Aisha nodded once. Her hands trembled under the table. Regional director spoke carefully. Ms. Khan, effective immediately, you will be reassigned to temporary headquarters support during investigation. Her breath caught. Reassigned? Yes. Cole finally looked at her. Real fear in his eyes now. HR corporate added. Your pay and status remain intact. Legal added quietly. This is protective reassignment. Protective. Not punishment. The word felt strange. Meeting ended. Chairs moved quietly. Cole stood slowly. Didn't speak to her. Didn't look at her again. Outside hallway. Shaw stopped beside her. You did the right thing. I almost didn't, Aisha admitted. Shaw nodded. That's why systems rely on silence. Elevator doors opened. Before she stepped in, Shaw added, prepare yourself. This is bigger than one manager. Aisha nodded slowly. Because she already knew that. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. New message. You just changed everything. Another message followed. But they're not finished protecting themselves yet. As elevator doors closed, corporate HR email arrived. Subject. Temporary assignment confirmation. Inside. New reporting line. Executive Operations Oversight Division. Start date. Tomorrow morning. Then final line appeared at bottom. Different font. Like someone inserted it manually. Final review hearing scheduled, attendance mandatory. Date. 3 days from now. Location. Her warehouse. Aisha stared at screen. Because that meant she was going back. But not as the same employee. And next time, the whole system would be watching. Headquarters felt different on day 2. Less intimidating. More controlled. Aisha sat at a temporary desk overlooking rows of analysts. No forklifts. No alarms. Just keyboards. And quiet decisions. Director Shaw walked up beside her. You sleep? Not much. Good, Shaw said. Means you understand stakes. Aisha almost smiled. Almost. Come with me, Shaw said. They walked past glass offices. Past conference rooms with people speaking in low voices. Past doors marked restricted access. They stopped at a smaller conference room. Inside, 2 executives waited. One older man. One younger woman. Shaw gestured. This is executive ops. The woman spoke first. I'm Elena Park. Workforce strategy. The man nodded once. Daniel Reeves. Performance oversight. Aisha sat slowly, folder on her lap. Always ready now. Park spoke gently. Ms. Khan, do you know why you're here beyond investigation? No. Reeves slid a tablet across table. Charts filled the screen. Performance metrics. Years of them. Her years. Top percentile accuracy. Top efficiency recovery. Lowest safety violations. Consistent leadership peer reviews. Her throat tightened. I just do my job, she said. Park nodded. Yes, you do. Reeves spoke quietly. We've been tracking your performance for 18 months. Aisha froze. Why? Leadership candidate observation pool, he said. Her pulse spiked. She blinked slowly. I work warehouse floor. Park leaned forward slightly. Good leaders usually start there. Silence filled the room. But this silence felt different. Not threatening. Heavy. Important. Shaw spoke from beside her. You were flagged long before this investigation. Aisha stared at the screen. You were watching me? Park answered carefully. We were evaluating you. Her chest felt tight. While my manager was targeting me? Reeves nodded once. Yes. Anger flickered through her chest. You let it happen? Park didn't look away. We monitored escalation thresholds. Aisha stood suddenly. So I was what? A test? No, Park said firmly. You were data proving a problem. The room went quiet again. But this time, Aisha felt something else. Not fear. Clarity. She sat slowly again. What happens now? Reeves folded his hands. Investigation continues. Park added. But we need leaders who understand ground reality. Shaw placed a document in front of her. Temporary Leadership Rotation Program. Her name already typed in. Start classification. Executive Operations Trainee. Her breath caught. This is real. Yes, Shaw said. But it's complicated. Aisha nodded slowly. Because if I accept, people will think this was planned. Park said softly. Yes. Reeves added. And if you refuse, system stays unchanged. The weight of it pressed into her chest. Every worker back at that warehouse. Maria. Darius. Everyone who stayed quiet to survive. I accept, she said. Her voice barely shook. Park nodded. Good. Then slid another paper forward. Return assignment authorization. Location. Original warehouse. Purpose. Final compliance review presence. Her stomach dropped. I go back. Shaw nodded. Yes. Why? Reeves answered. Because real change must be visible. Park added. And because workers need to see someone survived it. Her chest felt tight. Not fear. Responsibility. Meeting ended quietly. As she stood, Park said one last thing. They will try to protect themselves. Reeves added. Stay focused on facts. Shaw said quietly. And stay safe. Back at her temporary desk. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number again. New message. They offered you something, didn't they? Her pulse jumped. She typed. Yes. Reply came slower this time. Good. That means they need you. Another message appeared. Be careful. Final hearings are where companies rewrite stories. Aisha stared at screen. Then at the leadership program document. Then at the warehouse location on her calendar. Maria texted her suddenly. People are talking. HR pulled files today. Cole hasn't been on floor. Aisha typed back. Stay normal. Don't get pulled into meetings alone. Maria replied. You coming back? Aisha paused. Then typed. Yes. Soon. End of day. She packed her bag slowly. Badge heavier now. Not visitor. Not fully employee. Something in between. As she reached elevator, Shaw called out. Aisha. She turned. This path doesn't erase what happened, Shaw said. I know. But it gives you power to stop it happening again. Aisha nodded once. I understand. Elevator doors closed. Her reflection stared back at her. Tired eyes. Stronger posture. Same person. Different future. Phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. Final message of the day. They scheduled testimony order. Cole speaks first. Another message followed. If he lies, they'll try to lock the narrative before you speak. Aisha stared at the message. Because now, she understood the real game. This wasn't just about truth. It was about who spoke first. And who people believed. The room felt smaller than it had 10 minutes ago. The projector hummed. Slides glowed on the wall. Numbers. Emails. Dates. Names. No one spoke. Mr. Halvorsen stood at the head of the table, jaw tight. His earlier confidence was gone, replaced by calculation. Across from him, Amara sat still. Hands folded. Back straight. Calm. Not cold. Controlled. "Let's continue," said Regional Director Collins. His voice was calm, but final. The screen changed. Internal complaints, ignored or closed without review. A list appeared. Employee ID numbers. Case numbers. Manager sign-offs. Every single one. Signed by Halvorsen. A murmur moved across the table. Not loud, but sharp, like glass cracking. Halvorsen cleared his throat. "These don't show context." Amara finally spoke. Soft. "But they show pattern." The next slide appeared. Retention versus department performance. Graph lines climbed. Turnover dropped. Productivity increased. Customer complaints dropped by 32%. During the months Amara had been leading, unofficially. The CFO leaned forward. Who authorized her oversight access? No one answered. Because everyone knew. She had done it without title. Without credit. Without protection. Just responsibility. Another slide. Email correspondence. Management language review. Quotes appeared. Replaceable. Not leadership material. Doesn't fit client image. Dates. Times. Sender, Halvorsen. Silence again. But heavier now. Halvorsen shifted in his chair. "You're taking internal communication out of context." Amara didn't look at him. She looked at Collins. Then spoke clearly. "I didn't come here for punishment." That made several executives look up. "I came here so it stops." The projector clicked. Final slide. Promotion recommendation, Regional Operations Director. Name: Amara Brooks. Effective: immediately. Someone actually exhaled out loud. Halvorsen blinked. Once. Twice. "You're promoting her?" Collins didn't even look at him. "We're correcting a delay." The HR director spoke next. "And launching a conduct investigation." Now Collins looked at Halvorsen. "Effective immediately, you're on administrative leave." The room didn't explode. No shouting. No drama. Just gravity. Halvorsen stood slowly. For the first time since she met him. He looked small. He tried one last time. "This is political." Amara finally met his eyes. "No," she said quietly. "It's documented." He left without another word. The door closed. And something shifted in the room. Not victory. Accountability. Collins turned to Amara. "Your team requested you specifically." She blinked once. Just once. "Good," she said. "Because I'm not leaving them." Outside the glass walls, employees pretended not to watch. But they were watching. Every single one. Amara gathered her notebook. Same one she always carried. Same pen clipped inside. Same steady hands. But something was different. Not power. Recognition. As she walked out, a junior analyst whispered to another. "That's her." The other nodded. "That's her." And for the first time, no one called her replaceable. The warehouse smelled the same. Metal, plastic, forklifts humming. But everything else had changed. Aisha walked through the main doors, badge clipped high. No longer a temporary employee. No longer invisible. She was the new supervisor. Workers glanced up. Some froze mid-task. Some whispered. Maria met her eyes. Nodded once. A subtle smile. It said, "You made it." Darius waved quietly from his station. Aisha returned the gesture. Calm. Steady. This wasn't about ego. It was about presence. She passed the stations, noticing the nervous shuffles. The boxes moved, scanners beeped. But something different lingered in the air: respect. Even Cole, now in administrative suspension, was nowhere to be seen. Back office. Aisha called a brief meeting. Workers gathered reluctantly at first. Then fully when they realized this was serious. "Everyone," she began, voice firm but warm. "Things have changed." Heads tilted. Eyes cautious. "I know the past weeks have been difficult. Some of you felt unseen. Some of you felt targeted." She paused. Breathed. Saw nods, tension easing slightly. "Those days are over." A hand rose. "Maria. Are you really going to protect us?" Aisha smiled softly. "I can't undo what happened. But I can make sure it stops. I will be your voice. I will be the one who sees. And I expect you to speak up too." A whisper ran through the room. Then a murmur of agreement. Workers straightened. Posture changed. It wasn't instant trust, but it was a beginning. First hour, Aisha walked the floor. Checked scanners. Talked to supervisors. Checked logs. No heavy-handed management. No threats. Just fairness. She noticed small acts, a box properly labeled, forklift operators coordinating smoothly, people smiling quietly while they worked. Change was subtle, not flashy, but it was real. Mid-shift, she received a message on her secure phone. Unknown number. Cole tried to push blame internally. Don't let him manipulate remaining staff. He'll try one last time. Her pulse raced. She typed quickly. Noted. I'll handle it. Late afternoon. Cole appeared in the parking lot. Security already had him logged. He couldn't enter without escort. She didn't flinch. She didn't smile. She just walked past him into the warehouse. Workers watched. Some held their breath. Some exhaled slowly. He could no longer touch the system. He could no longer touch the people. Aisha sat at her new office desk. Window overlooked the floor. Everything visible. Everything transparent. Phone buzzed again. Corporate compliance. Effective immediately. Ms. Khan is confirmed as regional supervisor. Your leadership is critical to ensuring fair operational standards. She exhaled. One step closer to justice. Evening approached. She walked the floor one last time before leaving. Forklift operators waved. Packing staff nodded. Maria smiled brightly. Aisha stopped. Hands on hips. Surveyed the room. The same warehouse. The same people. But everything was different. At the exit, she looked up at the cameras. Previously a source of fear. Now a reminder of accountability. Corporate oversight wasn't perfect. But combined with courage, persistence, and truth, it could protect people. As she locked up and walked to her car, another message appeared. Unknown sender. You made it through the door. Now walk through it for others too. Aisha smiled. Because she already knew. The fight wasn't over. But the path forward was hers. And every person in that warehouse now had a chance to be seen. Her reflection in the car window stared back. Tired eyes. Strong posture. Steady hands. Determined heart. One door had closed. Another had opened. And this time she held the key.